If you know that you're about to be left something in a will, or you're thinking of setting up a will so they can leave things to your kids, you need to learn about a living trust. The easiest way to explain the difference is that a will is basically like having a wish, hoping that your plan is going to work out exactly as you would want. Whereas a trust is a promise, a trust is a contract that everything you want to happen is going to happen when you're not here. But let me take this a little further. Let's say a house is being left to you in a will. That house is subject to have to go to the probate court in order for you to become the legal owner on title, on the deed. And probate court, let me tell you, is a pain in the freaking butt. Basically, probate court is requiring you to file a lawsuit against your dead relative and requesting permission from the judge every step of the way before you can make any distributions, before you can close out any accounts, because probate court requires court approval. And through that court approval, you're paying lawyers, you're paying the court costs, posting bonds, bleeding out money that you otherwise could avoid. Most people's default thought is, oh, I need to create a will because they think that trusts are reserved for the wealthy. But let me tell you, that couldn't be further from the truth. It's the average everyday American who would benefit most from a trust because you can't afford to lose tens of thousands of dollars going through probate court. A trust is kind of like having a corporation, or you could also think of it as having like an online shopping cart that you own. And you're the owner of the cart. You've named people who are going to be owners after you, and everything that you own, all of your assets, you're now going to put into your shopping cart. And you're going to retitle the assets so that your shopping cart is the new owner and not you personally. That way, when you die, you don't have to go to probate court to transfer the ownership of the assets. You've already proactively listed who should get what in the instructions left in your virtual cart. The other benefit of trust is that if you put your house, even if you have a mortgage, if you put your property into your trust and your trust becomes the owner, you can name your trust literally anything you want. So if you want anonymity, if you want privacy, you can name your trust, the Mickey Mouse Trust. And if you get sued, if you have creditors, the trust is the owner. And so you, when they do an asset search on you, may be harder to find and make a litigation against you much more of a deterrent for them to want to pursue. Beyond just the privacy aspect of knowing, oh, the assets are now tied to my trust and not tied to me personally, you also have the peace of mind of knowing that your kids or your loved ones, whoever you want, are actually going to be the recipients of the stuff that you want them to have. Whereas if you have a will or you have not a will and you just have no plan, then the judge is going to decide if there's any ambiguity. The judge gets to determine who gets what, and your kids may not even get anything. So, on one hand, while a will may be more cost effective to set up on the front end, it's going to cost your kids and your family a lot more on the back end. Conversely, a trust, it may cost a little bit more on the front end to create, but it's not going to cost as much on the back end to make sure that everything that you want to happen can happen and will happen. So, if you're torn between a will or a trust, ask yourself, do you want to be in control of how your things are distributed when you die? Or do you want the court and the judges and lawyers to have a say in what should happen? I think the answer is pretty obvious.